Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel, and we are fast approaching 400 different topics available. We should probably be there within about a month. Thank you to the thousands of you that check in on our stuff on a regular basis, and we'd need more subscribers. We'd like more subscribers so we can start giving back. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we can monetize, which ultimately means that a portion of that would go to charity, and we'd like to be able to do that. But today we're going to talk about things that manipulative people will say, phrases they'll use. This is not to say that every person who is manipulative uses these, or that every time they're used, they are meant in a manipulative manner. However, these phrases can be used for manipulation. Once again, if you're looking for life, relationship, business, or entertainment coaching, please check out the website in our About Me section of this YouTube page or at PO Perception on Twitter. But to get into the content, a lot of times people will say, look at what you made me do, or look how you made me act. And that is, for me, it's a pet peeve. It's always been a pet peeve, but once I got into emotional and mental wellness, it got even worse. No one can make you do anything. And so that phraseology in itself is a manipulation anytime or almost any time a person um, uses it. Because the reality is, no one can make you do anything or say anything. Now, your reaction or the reaction of a person um, can cause a person to link things together, and then they make a decision to act in a certain way as a result of what you've said or done or whatever, but they are still responsible for their own personal decisions and choices. And so when you are hearing you made me say, you made me do, they're passing the buck, and that is an attempt to manipulate you and make you feel guilty for their own actions. The next is you said or you promised. In other words, you related statements is putting the blame back on, well, you. And so if a person is trying to manipulate you, one of their key tactics is going to be making you feel that you're not living up to your end of the bargain. And so ultimately, that can be problematic because twisting your own words is a great way to control the narrative with which a relationship is unfolding. The next thing, and that is not being sensitive to how you think, feel, or what you say. So trying to devalue your own opinions, thoughts, expression of emotion, expressions of feelings, approach to how things are expressed. And so, um, there is a lot of manipulation that goes into that. When a person is not sensitive to the way that you think or feel or believe or behave, it causes a lot of trouble because at the end of the day, that lack of sensitivity, which ultimately is born in a desire to control narrative once again, leads to a lot of problems, especially as it relates to the overall focus of the relationship. If a person devalues your emotions and you're still there, it also means that they can do that in the future and set a precedent for devaluing the contributions you bring emotionally to the relationship in general. So, absolute statements, you always or you never. These statements, I have no basis in truth, and they're great for manipulation. You always say this. You never allow me to do what I want to do. You always promise you're going to change, and you never do. These type of absolutes, because no one ever always or nevers, and that's one of the most important things to realize. While people have habits and tendencies and leanings, every person can in fact do everything, meaning that a person can change and on one occasion can do something you never thought they would do, but at the same time they may make a decision to do something that they or not do something that they almost always do. So almost or qualifiers such as that are necessary when making those close to absolute statements. Another way people choose to manipulate is by making it seem as though their way is the best, and saying things like, I'm only looking out for your best interest, I'm only interested in what's best for you, but then devaluing how you think, feel, or what your approach might be, or what is best for you. And so, I'm only looking at this or that isn't necessarily based in truth, because if they were only looking out for what's best for you, they'd say, well, I'm willing to take this loss, and this might make me uncomfortable, but I would put you before me in this situation. And if they can't be sacrificial without looking for glory, then it's probably a chance that they're trying to manipulate the situation. The next situation is blaming you for uh, tossing away, a relationship or an opportunity. And so the blame usually sounds like, don't throw away this just because you feel that way. So again, it comes down to devalue of emotion, but also it's telling you that there will be a negative consequence to making a decision that isn't necessarily in alignment with what they think you should be doing. And so it's a value score evaluation where they're trying to trigger your fear of losing something: credibility, value, relationship, loneliness, money, time, power, influence, whatever have you, by telling you that taking a different action will automatically lead to loss. The second to last thing I want to touch on is they're trying to control your reaction. So this can come out as scolding you for reacting in a certain way. It can also come out as telling you before an event happens how to react, or reprimanding you for reacting in a way that isn't in alignment with the way they thought or think you should have reacted. And so this can be extremely difficult when you are trying to, you know, um, to have a healthy relationship. The last common phrase is, don't misunderstand me. Well, wait a second. If you're telling me not to misunderstand, you're making an assumption that I'm not going to think the way you do. I'm not going to believe the way you do, which that assumption also implies that my opinion needs to be shaped by what you want me to think or the narrative you want me to believe, rather than drawing my own conclusions, which um, ultimately is a form of control and manipulation. So hopefully this has been helpful. Once again, if you need assistance in this area, learning better communication skills, please feel free to reach out and at the aforementioned ways before. Also, check out our 300 plus audios already on this channel. And until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.